Hey, I'm Larry Logsdon, founder of Tahiti Trader Noni Juice Company. Welcome to the Wellness Made Easy podcast. And in this episode, Dr. Bob Martin and I dive into, can Noni help you fight colds and flus? Good question. And today, we find the answers. Tahiti Trader Noni Juice can be your secret weapon against colds and flus and seasonal illnesses, you know. We'll find out all the truth right here in today's podcast. Powerful immune-boosting properties of Noni, why it's so effective, helping to keep you healthy, how it helps reduce inflammation and improve your energy too. If you're looking for natural ways to stay healthy during the cold and flu season, you don't want to miss this episode. Enjoy the show.
Well, so many people develop 2 and 3 sessions of colds, bouts of it, by the time summer comes. We don't want that. So we recruited a special guest to join us today to talk about the big problem, cold and flu season being here, and ask the question, are you ready for it? And his name is Larry Logsdon. He's a functional food researcher and scientist, specializing in medicinal properties and the benefits of exotic fruits. Larry founded the Tahiti Trader Noni Juice Company in 1998. We invited him to be a guest on the show to discuss this topic because I dare say there are a lot of people who are listening to me right now who may be suffering with cold and flu or may have just gotten over one and may have one very shortly in the future. We don't want it. We're trying to prevent it, get out in front of it, and that's the purpose of it. So stand by and stay tuned for that. And with that, let us welcome to the Dr. Bob Martin Show, Larry Logsdon.
Good morning, Dr. Bob. How are you today?
I'm doing super. Hope you are too, Larry.
Doing
this
well,
is a topic I think that we all can relate to. We all can relate to this one because we've all had cold or flu. Viruses happen. They're out there. Most people, however, are confused about what to do and what really works. So I want to cut through this entire thing and get to it because I think some people honestly believe that getting a cold or having the flu is caused by a NyQuil deficiency. It seems like it. They see all these commercials on television thinking, well, maybe I just need to start guzzling that green stuff in that bottle. And then after that, if I get a boogie nose, I'll just start chugging the Mucinex on top of that. It is just not so. So I decided to invite you on the show so that we can help explain from your perspective maybe what people can do about this. Seriously.
Well,
Let's start here, Larry. Can you explain why there's an uptick in people getting sick with cold and flu viruses during the winter months? I mean, what is that all about?
Well, coming right off holidays, Dr. Bob, one of the biggest problems I see is most people are deficient in vitamin D. This is the thing that really supercharges your immune system because they're not out in the sunshine. They're not getting out there into the daylight, and they're not taking advantage of that. And that together with a real bad set of habits they just got off of.
So maybe what you're saying is that we are really not in cold and flu season. We are in low vitamin D and high sugar season. Is that what you're pretty much saying?
Well, that is the results of that, and it just degrades the immune system so much. People don't realize high levels of sugar, and alcohol is a sugar. Don't think it's something else. And processed foods, cookies, candies, cakes, and gosh, I don't even know what all that could be involved. And they all tear down the immune system, and that is just one of the major problems. Getting enough vitamin D. Oh my Lord, you got a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, some people, they are lucky enough to live in a certain latitude. They get some vitamin D, but I dare say most people in the United States, especially those people that are in the northern climates, are not getting vitamin D right now, and that certainly explains it. And this audience listening right now, Larry, knows that vitamin D, without a doubt, vitamin D3 is the antiviral, anti-cold, anti-flu vitamin. No question about it. And that's a good thing that we're reminding them. We're also reminding them that eating excessive amounts of refined sugar and refined foods in general without a doubt, and scientifically proven, has shown that it suppresses the immune system, allowing these bugs, these germs that we're going to come in contact with, that we already have on board on our bodies, just waiting for an opportunity to have the guard go down, and they will take over the machinery of our cells and start multiplying. That's how we get colds. That's how we get flus. And so I want to get into, for the audience's benefit, what they can do personally to try to get out in front of that, to reduce their risk going forward so that they're not going to be suffering from as many colds and flus and their loss of quality of life. We want to also shut that down. And I think we can with some information and knowledge that they can put into action. Now, I want to ask you also, Larry, because it seems like this time of year we're under a lot of stress on a lot of levels. How does excessive stress impact our immune systems?
Well, excessive stress, Dr. Bob, as you well know, just robs the body of the adrenals, put out corticosteroids. And this is all part of the flights, and it just pushes down the immune system because it's got to take over. The problem with this is people are on extended periods of stress, and especially during the holidays. I mean, how much did we all have to deal with during the last 6 weeks? It's been incredible. And then you have that together with sugar, alcohol, refined foods, fried foods. And next thing you know, I got myself a whole bunch of sniffles. Well, it's because of what you've been doing. And if we could just get away from the stresses, it'd be a whole lot.
Yeah, it's tough. It is really tough. And by it all out, the stress has already taken the immune system downward in a downward trend. You add that to what you said, a lack of vitamin D3 in the system. Couple that with the excessive amount of foods that we don't typically eat in the quantities that we eat them around the holiday season. It's just a perfect storm and a perfect recipe for people to develop these illnesses that they have. Think about it. This doesn't happen during the summer. This is around the winter to fall months, and especially during the holidays.
Yep.
All right, we're going to come back with our special guest and give some sage information on how you can prepare yourself going forward for cold and flu season. You're tuned into the Dr. Bob Martin Show. We'll be right back. We're talking about the big problem that we're in right now, cold and flu season. And a lot of people each and every year get caught off guard. They hope for the best, expect the worst. They get sick, they get the cold, they get the flu, sometimes multiple rounds of colds and flus. We're trying to stop that in its tracks by helping to bring you up to speed on some things you can do to help yourself out. We invited a special guest to join us. He's with us. Larry Logsdon is his name. He's a food researcher and scientist looking at the scientific properties of exotic fruits and how when we consume them, they help enhance our health and reduce our risk going forward of mostly preventable diseases. Now, before the interview began here today, and when I was speaking with Larry earlier in the week, I asked him if he had anybody that he could offer up to prove some of the things that he's going to be talking about with respect to noni juice, an exotic fruit that people are now using for a whole variety of reasons. And he sent to me an audio clip of an individual by the name of Alfonso Jones, which is short of amazing, of an individual who's nearly almost 90 years of age, who is claiming that his health and his wellness is associated with his long-term use and consumption of a fruit that you should learn more about called noni. And so I want to, before we get Larry back on the air with us, I want to play this audio clip of this individual. I want you to listen to what he says very carefully about his use of this exotic fruit and what it's done for him. And then when we finish with that audio clip of Alfonso Jones, I think it was about a minute and a half or so. I'm going to ask Larry to comment on this. So let's go with that clip now.
I'm 86 years old. In a few weeks, I'll be 87. I've been drinking this Noni Juice ever since 1996. It's been 26 years up to the date. I've just been relaxing and taking my Noni Juice and let it do what the body wanted to do. Well, actually, the Noni Juice has really did wonderful things for me. It makes me feel good. If I have any kind of ailment like toothache or sore throat or anything like that, I just take my little Noni Juice and warm it up, gargle my mouth out, and it's gone. 24 hours, I don't have no more symptoms of a cold. I never had a cold since 1996. I would say that the Noni Juice has done a lot for me, period. That my blood sugar is level. I've always been a goal, and I never have to worry about stress or nothing like that because the Noni Juice gives me a little energy. And that's how I've been taking it, and I haven't stopped, and I won't stop. I would tell them to go ahead on and take the Noni. It's going to take about a couple of bottles to get into your system, and then you start noticing what the Noni Juice is doing for your body. And stay on it once you get on it. I would say it's all-around help for your body. You drink the Noni Juice, and all of the things that you think happening to you, you drink the Noni Juice and get it into your system, you find out that you don't have those problems anymore.
Wow. What would it be like, ladies and gentlemen, to not have a common cold since 1996? How do you dodge those bullets? Whatever he's doing, I want more of it. I can tell you that. Our special guest with us, food scientist, researcher Larry Logsdon. He's the guy that met Alfonso Jones, whose voice you just heard. Larry, thanks for providing that amazing serendipity, that testimonial of Alfonso. That is short of remarkable.
Oh, you're welcome. I got lots of them. That's one I wanted to share with you today because a great deal of our audience on the show is mature, and they're looking for ways to get the most out of their lives as they run down the road. And the best part of your life is at the end. And so many people are not enjoying it because they're afraid of getting flus and colds and other kinds of maladies.
Well, colds and flus really nail you when you're a little bit older. When you're younger, you just kind of just sail through them. It's a normal thing, but you get older, it's hard, it's harsh, and it does cramp your style. But that was an amazing testimonial. And, a lot of people don't even know what Noni is. They know what apple juice is and orange juice and grape juice, but they don't know what Noni. Can you just lay out and set forth, Larry, a little bit more about Noni and what is it all about?
Well, Dr. Bob, Noni is this fruit we get from Tahiti, and it's about the size of your palm, and it's sort of like a prickly pear looking thing, and it smells terrible. And it even tastes worse, but we found a way to make it taste a little better. But the reason why this is so good is that in clinical studies, human clinical studies, they found that Noni juices has greater antioxidant activity than any other fruit juice. It's more than orange juice, too. And the interaction it has with the immune system, it is incredible. And it's a way of managing inflammation. It's unbelievable. And it protects your DNA and normalizes your blood sugar. It has a way of helping your body get well. It's an amazing adaptogen. That's sort of what Noni's all about.
Well, I'm going to correct something that you said, even though you're the expert on the fruit. Noni only smells terrible when it rots. And I can attest to that because one of my children grabbed one off of the ground that was rotting and brought it into a cruise ship tap overnight. And the next morning, it was pretty rancid. But when they are not rotting, there's no smell to them whatsoever. And I got to tell you also, Larry, that with the job that your company has done in blending the Noni with blueberry and other fruits, it's remarkable. It's actually very pleasurable to drink it now. And when you know that you're getting the therapeutic value above and beyond what orange juice or apple grape juice can provide for you, that in and of itself has some large benefits to it. I think the audience is going to want to know more about this. Folks, you can find out more about getting Tahiti Trader Noni Juice by going to TahitiTrader.com. TahitiTrader.com. And Larry's got a special to talk about when we come back from this break, so stand by. Our special guest, functional food research scientist Larry Logsdon's with us. We're talking about the medicinal properties of a fruit that you need to know more about. The fruit is called noni fruit. It's an exotic fruit that originated in Tahiti, now is available in the United States in liquid form. Larry has figured out a way to make it very tasty, and it is so packed full of health-giving properties that your body's going to sit up and thank you for it. Now, Larry, that audio clip was very interesting that we played, and I think people enjoyed hearing from Alfonso Jones about his remarkable story with his usage of Tahiti Trader Noni Juice. And during the break, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Larry and I talked about it. He is offering a special offer for Dr. Bob Martin listeners. Larry, I'm going to let you take it from there and let them know what you're offering here today.
Well, Dr. Bob, we have a very special book. We call it Building an Amazing Immune System, 10 Steps to Get You Where You Want to Be. And it's an amazing book because everything that you need to know is in there. Everything Dr. Bob and I have spoken of, and a whole bunch of other things too, are in there. And you'll get it for free. It's a $9.95 value, $10. We're going to give it to you free when you order 2 bottles of our original noni juice. That's a very special price, a lot cheaper than Amazon. And you go to TahitiTrader.com and you'll see the Dr. Bob special right there. It's an amazing deal. I suggest you take a look at it. It'll help you out big time.
Mm-hmm. What's the phone number in case somebody doesn't have a computer and they don't get on the internet? How can they reach out to your company to take advantage of getting the free book, Build an Amazing Immune System, with their order of 2 bottles of the original noni juice?
You can give us a call at 1-800-842-5309. That's 800-842-5309.
Or TahitiTrader.com. Tahiti is spelled THAITI. TahitiTrader.com. To take advantage of this amazing offer, you get a free book. Everybody needs to read the Build an Amazing Immune System book. It's about a $10 value. You're going to get that with your purchase of 2 bottles of the original noni juice. Can you describe the flavor of the noni juice we're talking about here, Larry?
Well, the flavor of the original noni juice is a very pleasant blueberry-based juice, Dr. Bob. Most people really like it. It's strong tasting. It's very easy to enjoy. Not a problem. We suggest that you sip. Don't just pound it back. You can take your time and sip it. Now, we have straight 100% noni juice in another formula. It's called Island Style. And this stuff here is the real McCoy. I mean, this stuff, yeah, it make your hair stand up because it's pretty strong tasting. For those who want the medicinal formula. Mm-hmm. And they're both fat. Oh, Dr. Bob, you can load that stuff. But you can make a choice. Yes, you feel better right now. That's the thing.
You feel better. What it does. I love what it does for me and for my family, because we're not messing around with illness here in this house. We're just getting after it. We want to make our bodies stealthy so nothing even comes near. Bugs just look at us and they go, later, go in the other direction. No way. I have no home on the Martin household whatsoever. And I think a lot of people are looking for that, Larry. They don't want another cold. They want to be like Alfonso Jones, the guy that hasn't had a cold since 1996. What does he do? He drinks Tahiti Trader Noni Juice, folks. So learn from this individual. It is an amazing person. I want in person someday.
Well, he's an amazing guy. He's unbelievably healthy. He stands about 6'4", a slender guy, probably weighs all of about 180 pounds at 6'4". But oh my gosh, is he nimble. He is so sharp. And he says, all I do is drink the noni juice. I don't do anything else, just drinking the juice. He and his entire family, and he's got 8 children. So there's quite a few that come to us to receive the juice. But the reality is, you could actually be a much better person. Love it.
All right, so folks, here's the offer. Once again, you go to the website, TahitiTrader.com, get 2 bottles of the original Noni Juice, blended with blueberry, and you'll get a free copy of the book, Build an Amazing Immune System. That's a $10 value right there. Or you can call 800-842-5309. I'm Dr. Bob Martin. Our special guest with us is Larry Logsdon, a functional research scientist specializing in the medicinal properties of fruits, particularly honing in on Noni Juice today. And if you haven't tried it, you should, because it has a lot of properties that your body is yearning for. Larry, the big question, I guess, becomes if Noni Juice is so great in helping people like Alfonso and all the other people who have tried it, why don't more doctors recommend it to their patients?
Well, you're asking a very good question. The answer is a bit elusive, but I'll give it to you the way I see it. Number one, Dr. Bob, most doctors don't have much training in nutrition to start with, let alone Noni Juice. They just don't know a thing about it. That's the first thing I see. The second thing is that they will say they don't have time during these appointments to sit down and talk about complex medical problems and how to solve them. They got no time for that. You figure it out, and they let you out the door. And the third reason, I think, is some of those doctors, they just don't really give a rip. They don't care. You get out the door, you got paid, you're good. That's what I see. Now, I'm not saying the bad guys. He's looking at the clock when I need another patient. It works.
Yeah, well, he or she is. I think that the vast majority of doctors mean well. They're in the healing arts. I mean, it's a lot to get there, and a lot of them mean well. I think the majority of them do, but I'm sure there are. You're talking to the minority of that field who just looking at, okay, next. Yeah, so it's like a herd going through his or her office today. But I understand. So you're saying basically lack of information, lack of knowledge. If they knew of Noni Juice, I guess they would use it or at least recommend it to their patients. But because there's almost zero training in clinical nutrition and preventive health care in general, the real kind that works, clinical nutrition stuff, they would do it. Well, I got it, and I appreciate your response to that, Larry.
Well, just try to be honest about it.
We're done with the interview here. You can go to TahitiTrader.com to take advantage of this special offer, TahitiTrader.com. Get 2 bottles of the original Noni Juice and receive a free copy of Build an Amazing Immune System. And the other choice you have is to call their toll-free number if you have questions beyond this interview. 800-842-5309. 800-842-5309 or TahitiTrader.com. Larry Logsdon, thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. I'll come right back. I'm Dr. Bob Martin.
Thank you for joining us today, exploring how Tahiti Trader's Noni Juice can help you fight colds and flu by boosting your immune system. Learn more. You can order your own bottle at TahitiTrader.com and follow us on social media for more wellness tips. Stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.